So this video is going to kind of be a throwback to Algebra 1-ish. Okay, so what we're going to start off today, it's the end of the day, what we're going to talk about today is we are going to start easing into statistics. Okay, so we're going to do some statistics that you guys already know, and that's just kind of going to build up to the new sort of stats that we're going to learn. And the formal definition, or the formal term for the type of stats that you guys already know, is measures of central tendency. D-E-N, D-A-N, D-E-N. Right, measures of central tendency. What a measure of central tendency is we have, some huge set of data, a bunch of numbers, and what we want to do is somehow represent that with only one number. Okay, so I give you a bunch of data, or the Regents exam gives you a bunch of data, and a measure of central tendency is kind of, give me the gist of this data in one number. Okay, and it might sound a little overwhelming, but you guys have already done this. Okay, and the most basic, the first measure of central tendency that you guys probably learned was the mean, or the average. Okay, so one of these is the mean, or what we all usually say is the average. Sometimes it's called the arithmetic mean, because there are other types of means, but you guys are probably just good with the mean or average. Okay, and this is where, if I give you a list of data, we add up all of that data, and then you divide it by how many pieces of data you have. Okay, so add up all data. And then we divide by the number of terms in our data. Okay, the cliche example for mean or average is finding your average grade in a class. So let's say that for the first quarter, you guys were rocking it, and you got a 95. For the second quarter, we stepped it up a little bit, and we got a 97. Okay, then third quarter hit, we were kind of lazy after Christmas break, and we dropped down to an 82. And then fourth quarter, we picked it back up again, and we were up in the 90s. In order for you to find out your average grade for this class, you would have to you would have to add up the grades that you already got. So 95 plus 97 plus 82 plus 90. So that's this part. We're adding up all of our data. We're adding up all of our grades. And then we're going to divide by the number of things that I added up. So we're going to divide by 4. Okay, and let's do that. Now, look at this cool thing that I found. Let me see if it works. Hold up. Boom, look at that. Calculator right there. So let me move over a little bit. Whoops. A little bit more. There we go. All right, and let's see if this works. I've got 95, oh yeah, plus 97, beautiful, plus 82, plus 90. So that's what my numerator was, 364, and then you divide by 4, because that's how many things you added up, and boom, baby. So that would be your average for the class at the end of the year, 91. All right, that is your average. Bye-bye, calculator. See you later. Okay, now I went to your textbook and I copy and pasted some data just because I didn't feel like writing out a bunch of lists over and over again. So if we look at this list, this could be anything you want it to be. Test scores, answers on a quiz, I don't know. Okay, but here's some data. When I want to find the mean, we would do it the exact same way. We would have to add up all of this data, and then we would have to divide by how many things there were. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces of data, so that's why I'm dividing by 9. Okay, and ironically, I got 9 as a final answer. So the mean or the average of all of that data was 9. Okay, now your textbook, they're overachievers. They wrote all of this data going from the biggest number down to the smallest number. Notice all of these are decreasing. You don't have to do that for mean. Okay, they don't have to be going least to greatest or greatest to smallest. You can just add them up any way you want. The other thing that I want to talk about when it comes to mean, and this is kind of new, if you look at this, if you look at the numerator, let me move that. Okay, we've actually just started talking about working with these super long sums. Okay, a couple of days ago we talked about having a super long list of terms that you add up. Okay, and to do that, to kind of make it more concise, we started using summation notation or sigma notation. So just for the numerator, we could have wrote it like this. Okay, so this is a sum. All right, we're adding up all that stuff, so that's where the sigma comes from. And I'm adding up a bunch of x sub i's. Okay, sub for subscript because that I is on the bottom. Okay, it's not an exponent, it's below it. Now what that means is I'm plugging in 1, and in general I go up to n. But for this example, I would be going up to 9 because I have 9 terms. And what this is saying is I add up x sub 1, and I add up x sub 2, and I add up x sub 3, and I keep going until whatever that top number is, because that's what tells me to stop. Okay, and what x sub 1 means is this means your first term. And this means your second term. And this means your third term. Okay, it doesn't mean I'm plugging in just 1, just 2, and just 3. It means I'm plugging in the first term, the second term, and the third term. Okay, and now this would just be the numerator. If I wanted to find the actual mean, I would have to throw this thing over n, the final number of things that I have. So if we wanted to do this specifically for this example, I had 9 terms, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So my summation would start at the first term and go all the way up to the 9th term. And I would be adding up my x sub i's, my first term, second term, third term, all the way up to the 9th term. That's my numerator. And then I would divide by 9. So this is the sigma way to write that long list. Okay, I think that's all I got on this page. Boop. On to the next. The next piece of data that I'm going to talk about is the median. And hopefully we all remember that the median is in the middle. So this is our middle term. Most people that are in trig are driving or starting to drive. Okay, so hopefully you guys know that the middle of the road is called the median. So maybe that will help you remember. Okay, and hopefully we remember that if I need to find the median, I need my data to go in order. So here it does need to be listed from smallest to greatest. Okay, so here we do need our data to go in order. So I'll write that. We do need our data in order. I'm pretty sure, yep, there we go, there's some data. Okay, so actually this is the same data from the last page, I think. Except now it's going from smallest to biggest. It might not be, but it's still going from smallest to biggest, so that's what I need. Alright, now to find the middle, I'm pretty sure we all, because this is how I do this, I just kind of work my way to the middle. So I start on this outside, whoops, there we go. I start on the outside here, and then I have to do the outside on the other side. And then I just work my way in, doop, doop, and boom baby. There's my middle number, 8. So the median of this data is 8. Easy peasy. Alright, moving down. Wow, I gave myself a lot of space. Can I move this up? Hey. Okay, moving up, here's a different set of data. But it's already listed from least to greatest, so that's good. And again, I'll start on the outside and work my way in. So there we go. There we go. There we go. Oh no. Okay. You can't keep going right now because if I cross off this 7, I gotta cross off this 11, and then I'm left with nothing in the middle. Okay, so in this case, I obviously can't cross off this 7 and 11 because then I'd cross off all my data. So what we need to do here is these two terms in the middle, I need to take the average of. So here I'm going to have to do 7 plus 11. I add my data, and I divide by how much data I have. 2. 2 different terms. So that gives me 8 over 2, which gives me 9. So the median of the second set of data is 9. It does not matter that there wasn't a 9 in that original set. Okay, that does not matter. I had 2 terms that were left in the middle, so I had to take the average. So median. If you need to write that somewhere so you remember, go ahead. Okay? If you're left with 2 middle values, you need to take the average. You can only have 1 median. Okay? Just like you can only have 1 average. You can only have 1 median. I'm going to do like a little Happy Math Land over here for another piece of data, or I don't know if we're going to use it a lot, but I mean, you guys do know it, so I might as well talk about it a little bit. That's the mode. And the mode is what happens the most. So if I come back over here to this first median example, and I look at this data, I've got 2 2s. So 2s are happening twice, and everything else just happens once. Okay, so since 2 is happening the most often, the mode of this first set of data is 2. Similarly, if you look at the second median example, I've got 2 6s, and every other piece of data is only happening once. So since 6 happens the most, the mode of this example is 6. Okay, now hopefully somebody is thinking, well, what if a bunch of stuff repeats? Okay, what if I have a 2, a 3, a 3, a 5, a 6, a 7, a 7, and an 8? Okay, here 3 is happening twice and 7 is happening twice. The other stuff is just happening once. In this case, you're gonna have 2 modes. Okay, it's like 3 and 7 are both tied for first place. They both happen twice. Okay, so you can't just get rid of it. So the mode for this data would be 3 and it would be 7. All right, they're tied for first. think that's all I got on this page. On to the next. I'm not going to talk about range, okay? I feel like most people associate those four things, mean, median, mode, and range. We're going to talk about range next time. Okay, but what I do want to talk about is another thing that you guys did when you were given a bunch of data, and that was finding quartiles. Okay, you usually had to find quartiles to do box and whisker plots. We're not going to do I don't think we're going to do box and whisker plots in this class. I think we're past that. But I just want to kind of review it a little bit because quartiles are kind of a big deal. And then I'm going to show you how to do it on a calculator. So if we look at this set of data right here, all right, it's kind of long, but it's already in order, which is good. Okay, so remember our quartiles, we found those by kind of continuously breaking our data in half. So we found the median of our data, and then we found the median of each half of our data that we had just divided up. So if I look at this example, let's find the median. Okay, so here's my workout for the day, bouncing back and forth. Whew, that's a lot of data. Whoop, move that. Okay, and here we go, two things in the middle. I can't cancel them both, so I gotta take the average. Okay, so I'll do 81 plus 83 divided by 2, and that's gonna give me 82. So 82 is my median value. Now, what we do, let me give myself a little more room here. And it's kind of written in this next piece that I copied, but we'll hold off. So now if I look at my median, it broke my data into two equal pieces. Now I've got this piece over here on the left, and I've got this piece over here on the right. Okay? And I can go ahead and find the median of those pieces. Okay, so I'll do the left side in this red. So again, I start on either side, work my way to the middle. Again, I have 2 left over. So up here, I'm going to have to do 72 plus 75 over 2. And that will give me 73.5. And I'll come over here to my other half of data. Cross off. Do, 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 do. And I've got 2 pieces left, so I'll do 88 plus 88 divided by 2, and that's just 88. Okay? And if I look, all right, your textbook got the exact same thing, 73.5 and 82. Okay, those are going to be my quartiles. Okay, so here's my quartile 1, here's my quartile 2, here's my quartile 3. So if we were going to do a box and whisker plot by hand, okay, we would take our data and we would say, well, first let's do a number line. We'd say here's 58, and you know what, I'm not even going to do 58 because that's a lot. I'll go up by 5s. So here is my line. Here's going to be 50. Here's going to be 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, gotta keep going, 90, 95, 100. I gotta put my biggest value, which was 98, so that's like right I'll do it below. If not, I'm gonna run into my wording. Okay, so my biggest value is 98, so that's like right here. My smallest value was 58, so that's like right here. Here's my median, 82. That goes like right here. 88, that's like right here. And 73.5, I'll put that right here. And here's your box and whisker plot. So here's my box. Here are my whiskers. Boom, baby. Okay, so that's that right there. Now what I want to do is to kind of pause for a minute and take a look at our calculators. All right, hopefully we have calculators, if not, whatever. So looking at this, all right, here's your calculator. Let me go in here, not what I want. There we go. Okay, so say we kind of wanted to do this without having to go through all the hassle. There's still a little hassle, but not as much. Okay, because your calculator can do statistics. In fact, it has a statistics button. So if we go into our statistics button that says stat, okay, it comes up with these three menus. If you hit enter for edit, it brings up these lists. Okay, and I already went ahead and I entered in the list of all of these numbers. Okay, so I just went in, I hit 58, and I hit enter, and then 60, and I just went ahead and I put all these in there. Okay, so that's that. Now, after I put all of those in, I can get out of here. Oh, no, let me go back. So I put all those in there, everything's good. If I go back to statistics, and I get back to this menu, if I go over to calc, choice 1 says 1 variable statistics. Okay, this is what I want to pick because I only have 1 column of data. So let's go and hit 1 variable statistics. And now that pops up. Okay, I entered all of my info into list 1, so I have to hit second, and I'm going to hit the number 1 button because that has L1. So that's telling my calculator I want to do statistics for all the stuff that I put into list 1. If I hit enter, something cool kind of happens. For one, it gives me the average of this data. Okay, I hadn't even found that yet. It also kind of decides to be an overachiever. It even finds out just the summation of all the data. So before you divide by everything, it tells you the total number of terms. These other things, we're going to get to those later. Okay, more Greek letters, yay. But if you look, it's got an arrow down symbol, which means that there's more stuff if we arrow down. So if I move down, keep going till it's all there. Notice it told me the minimum. It told me my first quartile value, which was the median of my first half of data. It told me my median, the middle of all my data, and it told me my third quartile, which was the median of my second half of data. And it told me my max. So this tells you all of the stuff that you found out by doing all this crossing out business. Okay? And it can even do a box and whisker plot for you. Just, I know that you're never going to do them, but I might as well show you because I don't know if you guys know how to do this. So I'm going to clear all this stuff. All right, now notice, even though I cleared the screen, if I go back into statistics and I go back into that list, all the data is still there. So if you want to do this for another set of data, you got to go in, clear all that out, and then re-enter your data. Okay, so all this is saved in here. Now, if I go to second Y, notice that says stat plot. So graphs for statistics. So I'll hit that, and I look, and I'm going to hit enter, enter. So that just turned on doing a graph for list 1. I'm going to go down. Then I'm going to go over 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice I'm blinking on something that kind of looks like a box and whisker plot. So I'm going to hit enter. Then I'm going to go down to 1. It already has list 1, but just in case somebody had been messing with your calculator before this, we'll put in list 1 just to make sure. Then we'll arrow down, and then we'll hit alpha 1. And let's just see what our window's in. All right, mine, it's kind of big right now, so I'm just going to shrink it so I'm kind of zoomed in on my box and whisker plot. So I'm going to do, how about 55? Because my data went down into the 50s, up to 100. I'll go up by 1s. And for my Y's, how about I go from 0 to 5? Oops, there we go. And let's hit enter, and then let's hit graph. Boom, baby, look at that box and whisker plot. Okay, and if you hit trace, right now it's blinking on my median. If I arrow over, it's blinking on my quartile. So if you're more of a picture person rather than looking at, that screen, you can look at this. Okay, so just like an extra tool to find all this stuff. How am I doing on time right now? All right, sorry guys, this is a little long. We haven't had a video in a while. Now, there's only one more page that we gotta do. Okay, and we're gonna do this quick. This is if you kind of cheat and you do a group table. Okay, so they give you this example, the number of pets owned by children in the 6th grade, and we're finding all this stuff. Okay, instead they make a frequency table. So instead of writing 6 2 times, it's saying 6 pets happens twice. 5 pets happens once. 4 pets happens 3 times. Okay? So that's saying that 2 kids said 6. So instead of writing 6 plus 6, they write this. 1 kid said 5. 3 kids said 4. Okay, so this is kind of like the cheat table. Okay? And notice, if you come down to this second table, if 2 people said that they had 6 pets, that means that there are 12 pets there. If 1 person said 5, there are 5 pets there. If 3 people said 4 pets, that's 12 pets. So you can multiply the number of pets by how many people said it, and that's still going to give you your total. Okay? So this right here is the total number of pets. And I got that by multiplying the number times the frequency, and I got that. You add up this column, you get 74. So to find the average, I'm going to do 74, because that was the total number of pets for every single person, divided by 40, because that's the total number of kids that I asked. Okay, so I just wanted to show you this other way that stuff can be expressed in a table. I think you've probably worked with this stuff before, but again, just to recap on statistics. So that's that. Sorry it was a little long. My bad. I promise the next one will be shorter.